Hello traders, Rich here, and here's a quick but detailed update on EURUSD. As usual, if you guys like video analysis, let me know in the comments or simply leave a like. So let's get started. Cheers. As you can see, EURUSD has been overall bearish for a while, right? And we can even draw this trend line by connecting these swings. And price, as you can see, broke it upward, made a classic retest, and then traded higher again. As usual, we try to make an offset for this trend line. Here we go, like this. And so that the lower trend line would act as an oversold area, in this case, as it is below price. But for now, we won't need it as price is still far away from it. So let's make our chart cleaner. Now we are done with the big picture. We also have a resistance here. Let's zoom in and to monitor the current price action and do our market structure analysis. From the zoomed in view, we can see that we are overall bullish, right? So price is making very big impulse movement, pushing price to the upside, small correctives, big impulse, corrective, big impulse, and we are currently in the corrective phase. And when we are in an uptrend, we will be looking for buy setups when the corrective movement is about to end to catch the next impulse, right? So corrective, we were looking for buy setups, especially that here we also have the intersection of this brown trend line, and we are currently in a corrective phase and looking for buy setups to catch the next impulse movement. Moreover, here we do have a supply area, right? So here we go. And price made an aggressive movement upward from it. That's why as price was approaching this area, we were looking for sell setups, knowing that price can still go a little bit up to test the previous swing high before going down, right? So this entire area is a resistance and as mentioned from the zoomed out picture, we do have a resistance and we also have a supply area. So let's delete the area and draw it as a level to make the chart cleaner. So we've got let's make it 1 to 2. And the upper bound of this resistance, let's make it around 1 to 6. Here we go, right? So this is our entire area, and as long as price is approaching it or sitting inside it, we will be only interested in selling EURUSD. So now as price is trading away from the resistance, we can look for buy setups. But when we have this next impulse movement and price approaches our resistance again, we'll be looking for sell setups. But let's take it step by step for now. If we zoom in, we can see that we also have a minor demand area here. So here we go. We can see that this is our previous high, right? Price broke it upward and we are having a classic retest to the previous high, which can act as a minor support. But anyway, we also have a demand area here, which we can see it even clearer from a daily time frame. So we are overall bullish as mentioned before. Here's our demand area, and which is also the previous high. So this is the entire area, but let's make it a little bit smaller to make the chart cleaner as usual. Here we go. So let's make this one in, for example, in purple. Yes, let's do it. Here we go. And yes. So now since price is sitting around this area, which is as mentioned from weekly, the previous high, and the demand as price made an aggressive movement upward from it, and we can even see the demand area even better from here. Price made an aggressive movement upward from it, so it's a classic rally, base, and then rally. So here's our demand area. Anyway, let's stick to the daily time frame for now. And we can see that the momentum is starting to be shifted from bullish to bearish as price couldn't make a higher high and so on. So we can draw this channel, right? One, and as usual, make an offset. Here we go. So we are currently overall bearish, right? From a short-term perspective or from a medium-term perspective, and we are overall bullish from a from a long-term perspective, from weekly and daily time frame, if we zoom out here, right? So impulse corrective, here we go. In the corrective movement, we were looking for buy setups, and now we're in corrective movement and we're looking for buy setups, right? And of course, unless price breaks this area downward with big bearish candles, then we can say that the momentum is confirmed to be shifted from bullish to bearish, even from a long-term perspective, and we'll be looking for sell setups on the retest. But for now, from a long-term perspective, we are still overall bullish, and we are still in a short-term corrective phase to catch the next impulse. That's what we know from daily and weekly. Now we can zoom in. Now we know where we stand in the market and what to look for. Now we can zoom into lower time frames and look for potential setups. For now, what we will be looking for is buy setups, right? Since price is sitting around this area, which we also have this lower brown trend line, which acts as an oversold area. So let's make it appear on H4 and on H1 as well, and on 30. Let's go. Here we go. Cheers. So that's our view from H4. We are overall bearish. And of course, as price approaches this area, we'll be looking for sell setups, right? As mentioned from weekly time frame, as price approaches the upper resistance, we'll be looking for sell setups. If we zoom out a little bit, we can see that we can also draw like a trend line from here till here, right? Let me adjust it, and let's make this one in blue, let's say. Yes, let's do it, which adds more confluence or more strength to this area. So as price approaches this area, it would be a very interesting area to look for sell setups, because we have the intersection of this blue trend line, this brown trend line, and this we also have a minus supply here, and we also have this resistance from weekly and daily time frames, or this major supply zone. Very interesting area here. Okay, so now we are in the intersection of these two. Here we'll be looking for high probability sell setups as well. And let's zoom out a little bit. Here we go. So now we zoom into lower time frames and look for potential buy setups here. As mentioned from weekly, unless price breaks it downward, then a movement till our next support would be expected, which would be around the 1.6. And even if we go to daily time frame, we can see that this is a very, very interesting area. Here we go. As you can see, many rejections, and of course it's an area, not a razor level, not a razor line, so many rejections from it. So starting from, let's say, 1.5 till 1.6, this entire area. Anyway, let's draw it as a zone, as the chart would still be clean, as it's far from price now. Here we go, till 1.6, right? And let's make this one, because we already have many green levels, let's make this one in red. Let's do it. Fantastic, right? So we are overall bearish. We'll be looking for sell as price approaches this upper one as a trend following, short-term trend following sell setup. We also have resistance and so on. And we'll be looking for buy here. Unless price breaks it downwards, then a movement till our lower support would be expected, and we'll be looking for buy setups around here. Let's take it step by step as usual and zoom into lower time frames to look for potential buy opportunities. We don't want to see this one here, and let's make it like this. And 4, here we go. We can see that from a short-term perspective, as mentioned before, we are overall bearish, right? Price is making lower lows and lower highs, right? So lower high, lower low. So we are overall bad, and you don't want to buy a bearish market. That's why we don't buy immediately now, as price can still go down, dive inside the demand zone before going up, or even, as mentioned, break it downward. That's why we always wait for extra confirmation and trigger. And in our case, as you can clearly see, we can draw this trend line, right? and we always try to make an offset. You already know the story. So here we go. Let's make an offset. So we've got like a channel. Price is currently trading inside it. And if we zoom in a little bit, we can see that we are now waiting for our upper trend line to become objective or to become valid, because it's now connecting only two swings, right? So 1 and 2. So our upper trend line is still an idea. And for it to become valid, we need price to form a third dot or a third swing high around it. In this case, we consider that our upper trend line is valid, and this last swing is considered to be our trigger swing. Let's make this one a little bit lighter. Here we go. And when this buy is activated, as usual, our stop loss would be just below the previous swing low, and we target a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio. And the good thing is that the buy can still hit our take profit before reaching this rejection area, as mentioned from H4, which would be a very interesting area to look for sell setups, right? So long story short, price is around a support or a demand area while looking for buy setups, unless price breaks it down, then a movement till our next support would be expected, right? And if the buy is activated, 3 will be looking for sell setups around this resistance area. That's it for EURUSD, and I'll see you on the next one.